Good morning. We're going to go over CC Week 22 Science, and we are going to be assembling popsicle stick catapults. All right, so to begin, we're going to go over the materials that you're going to need for this activity. In your supply kit or you're at home, I'm sure you have some popsicle sticks. You're also going to need some rubber bands. You're going to need a bottle cap or two, depending on how many children you have. A hot glue gun is also incredibly helpful, and you're going to need some kind of projectile for your catapult to launch. Some examples of those would be marshmallows, pom-poms, or I also have a ping pong ball that would also work as well. So those are the materials you'll need, and now we'll walk through what you're going to do. So you're going to take your popsicle sticks, you're going to stack 5 of them together, and then you're going to rubber band them at each end, okay? Then you can put that to the side. Then you're going to take 2 more popsicle sticks, and you're simply going to rubber band it at one end, leaving the other end open, okay? Now, for the ease of this video, I went ahead and I glued my bottle cap to the end of the top of my 2-stick stack. I also left a little ledge here for my finger, so when I go to put the tension on my catapult, there's a little ledge for my finger to rest on, okay? So you should have a stack of 5 popsicle sticks, and then you should also have a stack of 2, and if you want to go ahead and put on that lid, go ahead and do that. Then you're going to take your 2-stack, you're going to open it up, kind of like jaws of an alligator. You're going to open it up, and you're going to slip your 5-stack between the 2-stack, okay? Now, this is where you're going to create some tension for your catapult. You're going to want to push the 5-stack down pretty well, and then you're going to want to secure it with rubber bands. This part can be a little tricky, especially for the younger kids, so they may need some help. Otherwise, this one is really easy. You're going to grab a rubber band, and what you're going to do is you're going to end up doing an X across this connection here. So just take it, center that, and then you can just go and go one way first, and then grab another rubber band, and you can do the other side. So you're going to switch it, and then you're going to make an X with those rubber bands, and that will really help secure those popsicle sticks in place, which is going to help when you start to use it. So there you go. We have created a popsicle stick catapult. All right. I have, as you can see on my table here, I have quite a few examples of catapults. Some of them are from games. This is from a game called Crossbows and Catapults. This game is probably way older than most of you watching this video. This has got a lever which you press down and release. I've also got quite a few different catapults that I have made and a few different projectiles. I also have one with a spoon on it, so instead of the bottle cap, you just rubber band a spoon to the popsicle stick, and then you're going to use that as your lever. My son also had a catapult Lego set, and he went ahead and built that for me so I could show that to you as well. And then he created one for me to have in my video that he and his sister created themselves using rubber bands and then just different Legos that they had in their bin. So you can take all those different ideas and maybe create your own. All right. So as the teachers, what can we talk about as far as science with this experiment or with this activity? Well, there's actually quite a bit. So we can talk about the 2 forms of energy. What are the 2 forms of energy? They're potential and kinetic. So when we have potential energy, that's going to be when we have our catapult and we have our finger pressed down, and there's that potential for your object to launch. Okay, so you've built up potential energy. Then when you release it, that would be kinetic energy, because that would be energy in motion. Okay, all right. You can also talk about tension. You can talk about resistance. What are things that would affect this? what would affect the tension of your catapult. Something that Molly and I were discussing is part of that depends on how high your 5 stack is on between your 2 stack. If it's really high, you're not going to be able to get as much leverage as it is if you have it down, as if it's down lower, and then you're going to really be able to pull that back and get a good launch on there, okay? Another thing that you could talk about for science is the 3 laws of motion, Newton's 3 laws of motion. And if you were in my class, you learned these to the tune of On Top of Old Smoky. If you're not familiar with that, I was going to go ahead and let you know what that sounds like. So in case your kids are having a hard time memorizing that, they can maybe get this song and all 3 verses fit in there, or all 3 laws fit in there. So it goes something like this. Newton's first law of motion states that an object at rest tends to remain at rest, doodly-doo. And an object in motion tends to continue moving in a straight line at constant speed unless an outside force acts upon it. Newton's second law of motion states that force equals mass times acceleration. Newton's second law of motion states force equals mass times acceleration. Newton's third law of motion states that for every reaction there is an equal and opposite reaction. Sorry about that, I blanked out for a second. So, as you can see, there are quite a few things that you can talk about, science related and energy and just different things that you can really pull into this activity. I would also encourage you, besides the popsicle sticks and the rubber bands, which is super easy and anybody can do that, if your kids like to build, find different ways for them to build catapults and then maybe test them, see which one is better, talk about why they're better, what is creating tension. Something I noticed, something as simple as the thickness of your rubber band can make a difference because you want good tension for your object to fly through the air. So just have fun with this, and I can't wait to see some of your pictures posted. Have a great day, guys.